Back now to housing, and we were linking up with Dave, who's in Gloucestershire. Dave, what can you tell us about the sort of our house building programme?
Are we back in touch, David? I don't think the builders are getting too enthusiastic here. Hopefully they haven't brought us off the air. I was trying to show you around Whittingham Park. That's where we are in Gloucester. Let's have a look at our top shot here. There's 200 houses going in here. And I suppose you'd think it's an awful lot. But actually it's just a drop in the ocean, because here in Gloucestershire,
we've lost him again. As you can tell, let's go to Dave's report.
This is going to be the first 250 homes wrapped around in here, enclosed by the tree bank.
once it was an airfield, Bristol Airport in fact. Now Hengrove Park is home to a hospital, a swimming pool and a lot of empty green space. But for years, some of it has been earmarked for housing.
This site had planning permission back in 2006. This is part of 100 hectares in South Bristol that is allocated for housing that the council own and isn't yet coming forward.
What in the world is making it take so long?
Well, it needs political will to drive it over the line, really. Petty politics has got in the way of it from time to time, just as it's got very close to coming forward several times in the past.
Now that's just a tiny corner of this huge site where the first 250 houses are planned. Of course, this used to be Whitchurch Airport, at one time Bristol Airport. They're not talking about carpeting the whole place with houses, just pockets around the corners, about 1,000 in all. But how will that go down with the dog walkers? What would you say to a few hundred houses tucked in the corners?
I wouldn't like it at all. You've got all this area here, you've got all the wildlife, that's going to throw all that away, isn't it? You ain't going to have nothing here at all then. And this, really, if you think about it, it's the only open space we've got.
I think this needs to be kept for the people. That's what it always was, and we want to keep it like that.
But the Housing Minister is backing the builders.
Council will have to pick their game up and get through that process. And we're very determined, I've been very clear, actually, that we want to, and we outlined this at the budget, we want to go further with streamlining the process, make it faster, more efficient to get the builders on site, get those homes built.
And the builders are certainly busy.
I would say it is speeding up. I know there's been a massive government initiative to push planning quicker.
Keynsham is getting a little bigger. 200 new homes are going in here, most of them sold before a brick is laid. In all, Barratt's are building 1,200 houses across the west. These two-bedroom starter homes go for around £230,000. Pricey? Maybe, but many buy with help from the government.
Help to Buy, the fantastic government initiative, that's been extended now to 2021. Well over 80% of the people using Help to Buy are first-time buyers.
There is, though, another way to build affordable homes, and I find it in Gloucestershire. Well, these houses in Cheltenham were put up by the council in 1956, like thousands of other council properties across the country. You don't see it very much these days, apart from here. Peter, a councillor building your own houses.
Really despair for affordable accommodation for some of the lowest paid. You know, if somebody's on minimum wage or living wage now, as they call it, should probably never be able to afford to buy their own property or even necessarily rent their own property that's of any decent standard. The government are missing a trick here. As council are doing it, as you can see the evidence of that here, we need to do more of it, and they need to let us do it.
Lots of different solutions to a very complicated problem. I'm sorry we lost our connection to you a little earlier. Nothing wrong with social media. It's buzzing and has been all day. Jenny tweeted me to say it's great the debate's being aired. She says it's a real crisis, this, for the West Country. And just a few of your comments. James, a small builder from Bristol, got in touch. He says he's currently trying to create some affordable housing, but he's worried that the council there, at least in his opinion, favour large developers over small ones. Last night, of course, we were in Tetbury. You remember that? They've now got the fastest rising prices in the West Country, and it's too expensive for poor Julie, who now has to live, well, in Malmesbury, which is a very nice town, but she's trying to move back into Tetbury, which she says is just too pricey. They are building, but they say it's just too pricey. Back to you guys.
Thanks very much for that, Dave. When we got you.
Yes, we'll try and fix that